So explaining trickling filter, what happens is in a trickling filter is settled water which are from the primary sedimentation tank and the wastewater treatment plant come to the trickling filter and trickle over the filter media which are provided in a trickling filter reactor. This filter media, this filter media which is provided in trickling filter is a non-submersible type of media which trickle the wastewater, and wastewater have a microorganism and organic matter in it. In the wastewater microorganism do the decomposition and degradation of organic matter and the biomass layer is formed. This biomass layer grows in size because of the degradation of organic matter in the presence of O2. The wastewater distributed over this filter media and it is the aerobic attached growth system because of the photosynthesis and chemiosynthesis is taking place in this reactor. The availability of O2 is sufficiently provided as abstraction of organic matter to biomass layer. Abstraction of organic matter to the biomass layer which are existing over the filter media and attached biomass which are depletion of O2 is where the slogging is taking place over the biomass layer. This slogging of biomass layer is tackled by the secondary sedimentation tank. Formation of biomass layer, this is how the biomass layer is formed by the decomposition of organic matter and slogging of grown biomass is continuous taking place. So this is the principle which is involved for the treatment of wastewater. Wastewater have a organic matter which are prime concern to be removed by this process. So wastewater insoluble form of organic matter is to be removed and the biological oxygen demand is to be satisfied to 75 to 90% by this process. So in trickling filter, what happen in trickling filter? This is the revolving arm provided, and this revolving arm rotate over the filter media or the medium to trickle the wastewater through this media. The flow which are generally in this trickling filter is, the flow is intermittent and the medium. So revolving arm rotate over the filter media. The flow which are generally available is intermittent or continuous type of flow. Intermittent which are depend on the day to day or the what is the discharge at that day. If discharge is more, continuous flow is to be taking place over the medium. The medium is non-submersible type of medium. This is the non-submersible type of medium which provided for the trickling filter. The growth of biomass layer is taking place in the media which are inert material provided on a trickling filter. The biomass layer is formed over this media. So this is the biomass layer. The biomass layer have an active layer. Active layer is the layer where the microorganism or the population of microbes are more in a biomass layer. The thickness of biomass layer where the microorganism or the oxygen is in sufficient amount, where the degradation of organic matter is to be in larger amount, is the zone where the microorganism do the more type of degradation of organic matter, and the complex organic matter and simple organic matter is to be diffused into the biomass layer by the action of microbes which are present in this layer in rich quantity. The population of rich microbes is the active layer. What happens is when the organic matter decomposed by these microbes which are attached to biomass layer, our biomass layer is grows in size after the degradation of organic matter which are to be present in the wastewater. So this organic matter is degraded by the microorganism in this biomass layer. The microorganism required the air or the O2, and this O2, the availability of O2 do the decomposition or degradation of organic matter. The organic matter which is in complex form is to be metabolized into the simple form, and the ionic form of organic matter or the inorganic type of organic matter is directly diffused into the biomass layer or diffused into the biomass layer and releases the pollutant oxygen, stabilize N2 in the form of nitrification process by the autotroph bacteria. And the major degradation of organic matter which are satisfied the biological oxygen demand is the heterotrophic type of bacteria which do the decomposition of organic matter, and biomass layer is grows in size. So this biomass layer is grows as the degradation of organic matter is taking place. Carbon dioxide and H2 is to dissolve into the wastewater, and this metabolize organic matter by bacteria. So in this way the biomass layer is grows, and the slogging of the grown biomass layer is taking place in the trickling filter. So biomass layer, the active layer where the microbes is present, is attached to the media, and the biomass layer do the decomposition of organic matter and the availability of O2, and the oxygen and H2 is released in the water. There are two types of organic matter which generally come to the biomass layer in a wastewater. Is the complex organic matter which is converted into simple organic matter by the heterotrophic bacteria. Complex organic matter larger in size converted into smaller molecular masses to by the heterotrophic bacteria. This is the inert medium for the to trickle the wastewater is provided, and the generally aerobic condition is taking place in upper layer or the outer layer of biomass, anaerobic condition is taking place. So depletion of O2 is more in this layer. So when the depletion of O2 and nutrient is an scarce of, the endogenous respiration is start in this lower layer. So in this lower layer, endogenesis respiration, where the availability of food is not available for the microbes due to the degradation of organic matter. So scarcity of food is taking place in anaerobic layer and slogging of the biomass layer is taking place. Slogging of biomass layer. In this medium, where the lower layer of biomass layer is detached from the medium and treated to the secondary clarifier. This is slogged off from the existing biomass layer. So now what happened is, this is the medium. This is the heterotrophic bacteria, heterotrophic type of bacteria, and this is autotrophic of bacteria. This is the prime bacteria, heterotrophic bacteria. This is the prime. It is very important. The heterotrophic bacteria is very responsible for the treatment in a trickling filter. The unit trickling filter, where is a very important character is heterotrophic bacteria, because this is degrade the organic matter and the biological oxygen demand is to be satisfied to 70 to 90% by this bacteria. BOD is satisfied to 70 to 90%. The heterotrophic bacteria, what do the heterotrophic bacteria is, they decompose organic matter, microorganism, heterotrophic bacteria. This is the bacteria which is available in anaerobic, and this is the aerobic लिखा है, यहाँ anaerobic लिखा है. तो heterotrophic bacteria यही नहीं पाया जाता कि anaerobic में ही पाया जाए या aerobic में ही पाया जाए. हेटरोट्रॉपिक बैक्टीरिया या तो यहाँ पे भी है, यहाँ पे भी है. The layer is to be this layer is for the outer layer is for the heterotrophic bacteria, inner layer is for autotrophic bacteria. Heterotrophic bacteria is very faster. This is faster. That's why they utilize the available O2 in the outer layer. हेटरोट्रॉपिक बैक्टीरिया प्रेजेंट तो लोअर लेयर में भी है, लेकिन दिस इज द फास्टर रिएक्शन, फास्टर फीडर ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक मैटर. दिस ऑर्गेनिक मैटर इज कॉम्प्लेक्स इन नेचर. तो कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑर्गेनिक मैटर सिंपल ऑर्गेनिक मैटर में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. जैसे कि कार्बोहाइड्रेट या फैट है, दिस इज कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स कन्वर्टेड इनटू ग्लूकोज, सेलुलर मासेस, कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स को सिंपल फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करेगा. दिस बैक्टीरिया इज हेटरोट्रॉपिक बैक्टीरिया. सिंपल ऑर्गेनिक मैटर में. और ऑटोट्रॉपिक बैक्टीरिया, where the scarcity of food is taking place, endogenous respiration is start and depletion of O2 is more in this layer. This is the lower layer which are attached to the media. तो ऑक्सीजन तो यहाँ है नहीं, ऑक्सीजन प्रेजेंट नहीं है यहाँ पे, ऑक्सीजन प्रेजेंट नहीं है, तो O2 अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ O2 is in deficient in this zone. तो अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ O2 तो इनऑर्गेनिक फॉर्म ऑफ जो आयोनिक फॉर्म ऑफ पॉल्यूटेंट होते हैं, ऑर्गेनिक form of pollutant directly diffused into the biomass layer. As a carbon is the food source for the microorganism or organic matter. As the carbon is the food source for the microorganism which are available in ionic form or a soluble molecular form or a soluble organic form or in a complex form of organic matter or a simplest form of organic matter. So when the wastewater have a carbon molecule which are directly diffused to the biomass layer as a nutrient which are utilized by the microbes to do the further process of their growth, and the energy is provided for the organic matter or the microbes to increase their production. So carbohydrates is converted into simple organic matter by the heterotrophic bacteria or the inorganic form of organic matter. By this heterotrophic bacteria, carbohydrates converted into simple organic matter. If protein in the form of protein is present, they convert into peptide. So they convert into peptide, protein is converted into peptide. This is the heterotrophic bacteria. This is the heterotrophic bacteria. Which synthesize the biomass layer into new cellular masses, which are prime responsible for the growth of the biomass layer in an inorganic form of ion. Autotrophic bacteria So heterotrophic bacteria which satisfy the biological oxygen demand. Satisfy the biological oxygen demand, which means the organic matter is decreases in the trickling filter and O2 is reduces in the trickling filter in the wastewater. O2 is reduces in the wastewater. Organic matter is to be decreases in the wastewater after the filtration process. And the biological oxygen demand is satisfied by 70 to 90% by this heterotrophic bacteria alone. The autotrophic bacteria which convert the inorganic form organic matter like carbon dioxide, this use inorganic form of organic matter as a food source, as a food source. This organic matter consume the directly O2, CO2 and food source and act as a food source. Carbon is act as a food source for it. Inorganic form of organic matter is directly, and this is how the water is to be released in the wastewater. The nitrification process which are a slower process in a wastewater which are at last happen is the nitrification process. So nitrification process where the wastewater is stabilized. This is the process which are available in the trickling filter. So sludge, so the wastewater is treated to the nitrate level is taking place in the biomass layer by the autotrophic bacteria. So wastewater have a ionic form of oxygen is utilized by this autotrophic bacteria directly. There is a decrease in the O2, the availability availability of O2 is restricted here. This is the restricted zone in the biomass layer. The availability of O2 is not available here. Availability of O2 is restricted. So ionic form of molecule is utilized by this autotrophic bacteria and converted into the less pollutant, less less molecular masses. So availability of O2 is restricted and the ammonia is converted into nitrite. The ammonia, by the nitrification process, ammonia is converted into nitrite by the nitrosomonas bacteria, and this nitrite is converted into this nitrite is converted into nitrate by the nitrobacter convert the nitrite to nitrate, and nitrate is converted into this nitrate. This nitrate is converted into nitrogen in the wastewater by the denitrification process. So by denitrification process, nitrate is converted into nitrogen. Ammonia converted into nitrite, nitrite to nitrate, and nitrogen. This is a nitrification process. This is the nitrification process which is taking place in the trickling filter. So biomass layer is formed over the filter media. This is the filter media, inert media, non-submersible type of media is provided, and the flow is intermittent and continuous type of flow which are available in this trickling filter as a reactor. This is the non-submersible type because there is a movable type of fixed bed, movable or rotating type of fixed bed also is there in a wastewater treatment plant. So non-submersible type of fixed bed is here. So this is the fixed bed which are provided as a inert material used in this trickling filter. So media is non-submersible type of fixed bed is provided. The biomass layer is formed over this filter media. The biomass layer is यहाँ biomass layer बनी. Biomass layer बनने के बाद एक्टिव लेयर में माइक्रोब्स की जनसंख्या ज़्यादा थी, माइक्रोब्स की पॉपुलेशन ज़्यादा होगी तो माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म ज़्यादा होंगे, माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म ज़्यादा होगी, O2 ज़्यादा यूटिलाइज होगी, O2 जगह ज़्यादा यूटिलाइज हो गई तो मेटाबॉलिज्म ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक मैटर बाय द बैक्टीरिया is taking place. We needed O2 is provided for this process. The needed O2 is provided by this process by the vents or the blower or the air compressor which are provided to the filter media. This blower, the O2 needed is to be sufficiently provided for the biomass layer to do the decomposition, and the rest microbes which are present in the active layer, the availability of O2 is more, the organic matter is converted into the complex form of organic matter matter is converted to simple form of organic matter. By the heterotropic bacteria and BOD is satisfied, organic matter is reduces and the height of grown on a biomass layer by the synthesization of new cellular masses is taking place. By this, complex organic matter is converted to simple organic matter. Simple organic matter is CO2. This is the simple organic matter. Complex organic matter is glucose is converted into some H2O is to be releases in the wastewater. Complex organic matter converted to simple organic matter, ionic form of O2 is to be dissolved in this wastewater by the heterotropic bacteria. The metabolism by the metabolize of inorganic pollutant is converted organic matter is converted into a organic matter by the autotrophic bacteria. So organic matter is formed. This increases the size of a growing biomass layer. This biomass layer, if it is in sufficient amount to be grown in size, the efficiency of Trickling filter is to be reduced. The efficiency is to be prime concern, which is to be primary concern to be taken out or to be handled to mark up to the certain limit of efficiency. So this efficiency is to be up to a mark. We have to concern with the frequent removal of the biomass layer which are grown over the existing biomass layer. तो efficiency अगर कम हो गई तो efficiency कम हो गई अगर स्लॉगिंग ऑफ बायोमास ज़्यादा बनी, ये रिएक्शन ज़्यादा अगर हो गई तो efficiency कम हो जाएगी, बायोमास लेयर बार बार ग्रूव ना होगी और फिर स्लॉट ऑफ टू द सेकेंडरी क्लेरिफायर में चल जाएगी. तो efficiency अगर रिड्यूस हो जाए तो प्राइम कंडीशन हमारा क्या है कि एक्टिव ग्रोथ है which remove the insoluble substance of organic matter. So trickling filter is to design to remove the insoluble or soluble or the organic matter to be removed. So for this purpose, active growth and biological activity. Active growth of and the biological activity is the main criteria to reach into the efficiency. So active growth of biomass layer and biological activity जब होगी जब temperature is in controlled zone. तो temperature 15 से 30 डिग्री का होता है ट्रिकलिंग फिल्टर में to taking place the biological activity. अगर इससे कम हो गया तो efficiency कम हो जाएगी, अगर इससे ज़्यादा हो गया तो भी efficiency तो limited range में होना चाहिए 15 से 30 डिग्री सेल्सियस. तो biological activity सही होगी, efficiency ज़्यादा होगी. So there is a two types of trickling filter: low rate trickling filter, high rate trickling filter. Low rate trickling filter we not provide the recirculation. For high rate trickling filter we provide the circulation. So this is what the trickling filter is. So two types of trickling filter which are provided: low rate trickling filter and high rate trickling filter. So hydronic loading rate is 1 to 4 for a low rate trickling filter. High rate trickling filter 10 to 40. Organic loading rate 0.08 to 0.3 to 0.321. Recirculation is not provided in a slow low rate trickling filter, and high rate trickling filter 3 to 5. Recirculation ratio is the recirculated flow to the influent flow which are entering through the filter. So this is the filter. So for RF is 1 for the low rate trickling filter. The recirculation factor is to be 1 for the trickling filter. Low rate trickling filter recirculation ratio is 1. So this is the recirculation ratio. Recirculated flow which is to be provided for high rate trickling filter. In a high rate trickling filter तो क्या होता है, हाई रेट, जैसे कि हाई रेट हो गया, ये क्या है, हाई रेट है, not stabilize nitrification taking place because of the recirculation and the less contact period is provided. The high rate trickling filter not stabilized nitrification is taking place. Low rate trickling filter में क्या होता है, up to nitrate level nitrification is to be provided for the wastewater in a low rate trickling filter. Not much that stabilized wastewater is to be carried out from this trickling filter. Up to the nitrate level is to be not to be taking place in high rate trickling filter because of the recirculation which are provided for the high rate trickling filter. In a low rate trickling filter, recirculation is not provided. So this is what about the nitrification process and the biological oxygen demand which has to be satisfied in trickling filter. In organic matter is to be reduced. The prime concern is to reduce the organic matter, soluble or insoluble or ionic form of organic matter or carbon is act as a food source for the microbes to do the degradation of organic